My mother's father came over from England as a cabinet maker. He eventually got into other businesses, but as a cabinet maker, he helped me understand how to work with hand tools and wood. And I ended up building some furniture prototypes as part of special courses in college. And then when I graduated, I worked in an architectural office and in the graphics department. And that exposed me more to not just architecture, but interior design and more furniture. And I just became more involved and more interested in furniture design. I tended to take more of an architectural point of view, I think, than a product point of view about designing furniture. So my influences were more architectural educated people. But it all goes back to the hand tools of working with wood with my grandfather on my mother's side. I didn't want to just be a stylist. That was not interesting to me. I guess through my early stages of building model airplanes and trains, I got very involved with the mechanics of how things work. And I needed to attack something that had more of a mechanical perspective. And then the resultant final form was kind of the evolution from the inside out. Well, you know, Bill and I, when we got together, we found a lot of common interests. I think improvisation was one of them, and jazz music was particularly of great interest to Bill, and I grew up with it as well. And we both loved toys, the idea of the toy-like quality, and we both had collections of toys. And so that, I think those were kind of influences in the development of the chair. We wanted it to be toy-like. All the parts were very specifically dictated by form and function, but it went together in such a way it was almost like putting together a toy. You try and be a good listener, first of all, because each one has their expertise. And I think part of being a good designer is listening to the expertise of others as well. But you have to be in control. And there were times with the development, not so much of the Equi-chair, but the Aeron Chair, where we were really challenged in terms of materials and processes. It's not easy to collaborate. I mean, it really isn't. But out of that turmoil, I think you can develop some very, very important ideas. You look at history and you look back and you see elements, say in Tonet's work. And if you look at the woven cane, for instance, and all those chairs, that kind of triggers an idea of, well, maybe we don't use cane, but maybe we take that idea of something that's porous and breathable and stretched, and we were able to develop this whole technique for designing a chair that had the suspended elastic fabric in it. And we deliberately decided to move away from the traditions of making furniture with foam and upholstery. I said, there's no way we're going to produce another chair with upholstery on it. We're going to solve this problem. And I think a lot of it was beginning to understand the whole ecology of the movement, you know, using less material to get more comfort, more utility out of less material, and then we've continued to move in that direction. Everybody deserves a good chair. Everybody deserves to be sitting in a comfortable chair. So there was no distinction here between the one that was doing secretarial work or the executive. So we tried to democratize the whole idea about office seating. And that became our kind of mantra as we developed into the Aeron Chair program. We looked at musical instruments like a clarinet, various saxophones and how all the keys operate and how you can see them. Even the Eames aluminum group products where all the parts were very refined and you displayed them, you celebrated them rather than hiding them. So this whole tilt mechanism was designed around that idea of I'm a mechanism, but I'm celebrating myself. We also, I think this was one of the first times people or manufacturers, we got this idea from motorcycles and bicycles, was to take all the controls and bring them outboard, and they're actuated through actual cables. And rather than hide the cables, we just allow the cables to line up and just like you would on a bicycle frame. So wherever there's a part that's connecting, you know, there's a fastener that's very carefully selected. And again, we're celebrating the form and the connection. Again, growing, you know, from the way Charles and Ray Eames designed a lot of their furniture. Well, first of all, you have to be very curious. You have to have the tenacity to stay with something and believe in it.